My daily routine with ADHD. Wake up. Do fucking nothing for 5 hours. Panic. Do stuff in a panic for 1 to 2 hours. Hyperfixate on one thing for 4 hours. Make sure it's the wrong thing. Let the existential dread set in. Make a pact with myself to break out of this pattern tomorrow.
You have to get everything done, man.
Repeat pattern tomorrow.
Sometimes I like to tell unfunny jokes on purpose just to see who's gonna laugh. That way I can tell who has a crush on me. If somebody's ever like, hey, we need to talk, you need to be like, yeah, we do. That way, you're both stressed out. If you upload all your photos on Tinder upside down, the person's gonna have to flip their phone around to see you and realize that you're fucking ugly. So they're gonna swipe left, but actually they're gonna swipe right and you just gotta match. I can't swallow pills. I can't do it. You know, if you take your left hand and then squeeze your thumb in your fist, it'll actually suppress your gag reflex. Is this why you have a boyfriend and I don't? And then this dude just was trying to pretend that he didn't even know what a bagel was. Do you have the hiccups? No, I'm doing this for shits and giggles. You know, you can get rid of those by sticking your fingers in your ears because it stimulates the vagus nerve and resets your diaphragm. What? I am just not feeling my hair right now. Like, is that dandruff? You know, if you put a little bit of vodka in your shampoo bottle, it'll get rid of dandruff, make your hair stronger, shinier, and grow faster. All I heard was vodka. If your car's ever overheating, you either need to 1, turn it off, or 2, if you can't do that, turn your heat on full blast. The cab will pull the heat from the engine, thus cooling it off. 10minuteemail.com gives you a fake email address so you don't have to use your personal one when signing up for things. If you're like me and you have trouble lighting candles because your hands are too big, what you need to do is light a piece of spaghetti, because then you'll be able to reach it. Did you know that people with blue eyes and people with brown eyes actually see differently? If you have blue eyes, you have much less melanin compared to those with brown eyes, which just means that more light is able to pass through, so you're more sensitive to it. Like, my eyes are blue, and for me personally, I can't even really go outside without wearing a pair of sunglasses because it's just too bright. But this also means that I have better night vision than somebody with brown eyes because all the melanin acts as natural sunglasses. Like, this is what brown eyes see at night versus blue eyes, and then blue eyes, brown eyes during the day. I don't know if you guys have picked up on it yet, but I really like space. So here are some cool space things that I found because, you know, space is cool as fuck. So this is a composite photo of the moon, and that reddish color is actually the moon's iron rusting. But scientists don't really know how the moon even has rust because the moon doesn't have water or oxygen. This is a photo of a massive eruption on the sun, and that little loop right there, that thing can fit 2 whole Earths inside of it. Last year's SpaceX's Falcon 9 launch caused a twilight phenomenon, and this happens when the exhaust particles from a missile or rocket condense, freeze, and then expand in the upper atmosphere. If you have a pimple, one thing you can do is put a little bit of honey on it, cover it with a band-aid overnight, and by the time you wake up, it'll be gone and it won't leave a scar. After you run the dishwasher, your dishes still come out wet, one thing you can do is right when it's done, take a dry towel, hang it over the edge, and then just gently close it. In about 30 minutes, they'll all be dry. So if you ever get a bruise that you kind of just want to go away, one thing that you can do is apply pressure to it and then rub in a clockwise motion. This will activate and speed up the lymphatic process and your body will just naturally get rid of it. I mean this in the nicest way possible, okay? Nobody notices you as much as you think. Everybody's in their own little world, so try not to care as much. But that being said, if you do something embarrassing in public, just say you lost a bet. My golden rule for spending money is if I can't afford to buy it twice, then I can't afford it at all. If you want to work on being more confident, make a conscious effort to talk to 3 people every single day. Even if it's as simple as like, oh, hey, I like your shoes, or asking if they did the homework. You'll notice over time, you're a lot more comfortable just talking to new people. I thought that everybody enjoyed taking hot showers, but it turns out some people take cold showers. And just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try it. This is a nightmare, but it has its benefits, okay? So cold showers stimulate your immune system and antidepressant hormones. It also accelerates your metabolism, tightens your skin, and reduces hair loss. I'm done. I genuinely prefer to be boiled alive. Does the royal family have a last name? Because, like, it's Queen Elizabeth II, there's Prince Harry, Princess Diana. What? It's Windsor? Where the fuck? Like, just imagine if your name was George VI, Albert Frederick Arthur George Windsor. That's so fancy. If you have a jar or container that you really just can't seem to open, run it under hot water for a few seconds. And then once you dry it, it should just open right up. I've never not had this work. If you're constantly making a routine, but then just dropping it the next day because you're too tired to follow through, try making 3 different routines, okay? One for a low energy day, a mid energy day, and a high energy day. It's a lot easier to stick to it. So in LA, they're telling us to wear masks again. And one thing that always annoyed me was how my sunglasses would fog up when I wear both. So one thing I learned to get rid of that is by adding a little bit of dish soap to the glasses, rubbing it in, and then not washing it off with water, just wiping them off. The fog shouldn't exist after that. Man, have you tried this new tea? It's so good, but it's hot. It's hot. Burn my tummy. Oh, eat this spoonful of sugar. It's like the magic cure for burns. Oh no, it's okay. Oh. Man, the scale makes me sad. I need to lose weight. What? Dude, no. Okay, you look amazing, but I do know that if you want to lose a pound of fat, you have to run about 3 hours. What kind of crazy person wants to run for 3 hours? Well, if you break it up, it's only 27 minutes a day and you lose a pound a week. Dude, my nose is so stuffed. I barely got any sleep last night. Oh, you should keep this bowl of onions next to your bed at night. It'll clear everything up. Won't this just make me like cry? Oh, I get it. Thank you. Things I didn't realize was my ADHD, but probably should have been a dead giveaway. Where did I put my keys? I swore I just put them down. How am I always doing this? Where did I put them? What? You swept your floors and you have a pile of dirt now, but you don't have a dustpan to get it up. What you can do is take a paper towel with the end of it wet, lay it down, and it works just the same. One of the best ways to separate the egg yolk from an egg white is by taking a water bottle, squeezing it, and just using the power of suction. So you come out of the shower and you want to put a towel around your waist, okay? This way that every guy does it looks sexy, but it's not sturdy at all. So what you gotta do is take the towel, wrap it around, and then fold it down twice. That way it creates this sort of belt thing. Like this isn't going anywhere. You know, unless you wanted it to. In Toy Story, Woody's famous line, "There's a snake in my boot," was actually a very common hallucination that alcoholics would get in the 19th century. In the movie Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd's chipped tooth is real. Apparently, when Jim Carrey was in detention in high school, some kid jumped on his head and chipped it, and so for the movie, he just took off the cap to look dumb. In The Goonies, the actor that played Chunk got the chicken pox, but didn't tell anybody because he was afraid that he was gonna get recasted. So in this iconic scene where he lifts up his shirt, you can actually see the chicken pox. Have you ever wondered why looking at bright lights can make you sneeze? Well, this thing that happens is called the autosomal dominant compelling helio-ophthalmic outburst, or ACHOO syndrome for short. So whenever you do look at a bright light, the nerves in your eyes actually constrict, making your pupils smaller. These electrical signals are so close to your nose that it actually activates some of the nerves in here, causing some secretion and congestion in the mucous membranes. This causes the brain to confuse a bright light with a nose irritation, and the next thing you know is, you know when you go somewhere kind of sketchy and you don't want to bring your whole wallet with you? Well, one thing you can do instead is do a secret stash of cash instead of an empty chapstick tube. Cashiers might assume stuff about you though. If you run your bacon under cold water before cooking it, you'll reduce the shrinkage by up to 50%. If you want to try and kill a fly with your bare hands, you can't just swipe down at it because the fly is like 100 times faster than you. So instead, what you have to do is make sure you clap just above the fly. Your kill rate will go from 0 to like 80%. Got one, got two. Look at me, I got 3. If you're frying something in a pan like bacon, if you just add a little bit of salt to the pan, it'll stop the grease from splattering back at you. If you're on the phone with customer service and just stuck talking to a robot, if you keep clicking the pound button, it'll force the system to let you talk to a human. If you're like me and your hand's just too big to get to the chips at the bottom of the Pringles can, one thing you can do is get a piece of paper and just like shove it in there. That way they all come out without making a mess.
I just crush them up and drink them.